everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout you can do in your home. We're going to use a tube or a band that's about chest height, a set of a little bit lighter dumbbells, and then a band that you can either wrap around your ankles or a little bit stronger TheraBand, and I'll show you how to use that. And that is all we're going to use for today's workout. So grab those things, make sure you're warmed up before you come into these workouts so that your muscles are warm and ready to go, and your heart rate's elevated a little bit so you get a great workout. Okay, so we're going to start with a row today. So I've got my band about chest height. I'm just going to have you pull both at the same time. So I want you to face the wall or wherever you have your band hooked around. Feet about shoulder width apart. I want you to bend at your hips and your knees just a little bit and contract your core, contract those abs. This is just an athletic stance preparing you for movement. So stand with all of those things engaged, keep your shoulders down, and we're going to drive your elbows towards the back of the room. Now, importantly, you want to keep breathing throughout this entire set. So you could take a breath before you start and breathe as you pull back. But whatever which way you can coordinate your breathing is fine as long as you don't hold your breath. Squeeze those shoulder blades together as you pull back. Go nice and slowly. You can make it a little more difficult by standing further back. Gives it a little extra tension, or easier by stepping forward. You can also loop a couple bands around each other to get a little bit more strength on those bands as well. Okay, now we're going to do a ball squat. I forgot to say to use a ball, but you can also just use the wall and hold it if you don't have a ball. So if you don't have a ball, you can find a wall and do a static squat. That's a good way to do it. You want your knees over your ankles for all of the squats, really, that you may do. So when you do a ball squat, you want your feet out in front of you just a little bit, so that when you sit down, you're going to sit your hips back like you're going to sit into a chair. So you want those knees over your ankles, weight in your heels a little bit. Keep your chest up nice and tall. You can adjust your feet to make them more comfortable as you go, nice and slowly. If you're having any knee pain with this, you can do a smaller range of motion. Really think about squeezing your glutes as you come up. Nice and slowly, both directions. And one more. 10. Good. All right. I like ball squats. They're a really good way to do squats. Even if you don't think you can do squats because of knee pain, adding this ball and giving you support to kind of lean back into it really can take away that knee pain. And then also doing that smaller range of motion. Okay, now we're going to grab that smaller weight dumbbell if you have them. And we're going to do some shoulder raises. So lateral shoulder raises. So again, I want to do a little bit of a balance challenge with this. So either stand with your feet staggered like this, or a tandem stance where your heel toe right in front of each other, or you can also try a single leg stance, wherever you are on your balance spectrum. It'd probably be best if you're a little nervous about your balance to do this with your back against the wall, because that way if you lose your balance, it's right there. You can kind of just use that wall as a little touching point. Okay, I'm going to try it single leg stance. We're going to lift those weights straight out to the side. Don't go any higher than the height of your shoulder. Keep that core engaged. 4. This is 5. If you're having any shoulder pain with this, you can try bringing it a little bit more to the diagonal. So not necessarily straight in front, because that's a little bit more difficult, but a little bit more out to the diagonal. It takes that pressure off your shoulders if you're having any shoulder pain. Also, you could make it more of a fly, like a shoulder fly. And that shortens your lever, meaning making that shoulder joint not have to work quite so hard on that long fulcrum. 9 and 10. Nice and slowly, both directions. Good. Okay, next we're going to do some side stepping. And grab that band that I talked about. So either If you don't have a loop band that you can wrap around your ankles, then you could grab a TheraBand and step on it and then hold it tight, and then we'll get that resistance this way. So you can find whichever one you have of those. I'm going to loop my band around my ankles here. It's best to do this seated because they can be a little difficult to get on because the band, you know, especially if you're wearing athletic shoes of any type, the band and the rubber on your shoes can make it tough to get them on. So in order to do these, again, I want to talk about that athletic stance where your hips are bent back just a little bit, your knees are bent just a little, your chest is tall, and your core is engaged. And we're going to step sideways. So I'm going to go this way. One. Now, I want you to keep your feet about shoulder width apart the entire time. So you're not actually taking very big steps. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you need to, you can shake out your hips a little bit. Importantly, like we talked about last time, keep those toes straight forward or even turned in just a little bit, not like, you know, all the way in. You want to keep them straight. But I don't want this, it's common for that lead foot to kind of want to turn out to the side to get into the stronger muscles that you probably have. So our hips and our quads kind of want to take over because that's what, our hip flexors, because that's how we normally walk, that's how we do everything. So we're working on strengthening those glutes. So go back and forth 10 times, and then you can take that off. Again, probably better to do it seated because these can be pretty difficult to get on and off. Okay, now we're going to do some calf raises. So stand near your kitchen counter or somewhere supportive. I would rather have you hang on to something for support for this one. We're going to go up and down as high as you can, like you're going to see over something, like you're a child trying to see over something in a crowd. Working on those feet muscles, your toes, your feet, your ankles, and this is a good calf strengthener. We need good lower extremity strength to prevent falls. So the stronger your feet and calves and all the way up, your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes, the stronger all of these muscles are, the more sure you're going to be on your feet, the better your balance will be, and it's really good for fall prevention. The stronger we can make our legs, that's the really important factor there. So up as high as you can go. I don't know how many I've done. I'll do one more here. And then nice and slowly down. All right, good. And the last one we're going to do one more balance challenge. We're going to do a tightrope walking. So you can follow, if you have hardwood floors or tile, you can follow one line all the way down. So we're going to put one foot directly in front of the other, nice and slowly, back and forth across your room. So however big your room is, if you don't have tile or hardwood floor, you can just, create an invisible line. Just heel toe right after each other, creating the narrowest stance that you can. Now, if that is too difficult, do more of a staggered stance. It's just a narrowed gait, which is more difficult than a wider gait. So when you walk this way, it's more difficult than walking, our gait isn't that far apart, but nice and slowly, really try that heel toe. Now, if that's easy to you, grab an object such as a little ball, or I'll use my balance disc here. I'm going to hold it out in front of me, and as I go, I'll make a little movement for that tightrope walking, adding a little bit of a variable. And if that feels like you need a little more challenge, take a step, turn, and then turn your body, turn your eyes. So take these steps one at a time. If you have not done these before, or if this is really challenging to you, start with just the heel toe walking or tightrope walking, and then add the variables if you feel like you need more of a challenge. Okay, good. So go as slowly as you can back and forth across your room, and then when you've finished with all of this first circuit, you can press stop, obviously, or pause. Go and do 5 or 10 minutes of cardio, get your heart rate back up, do the whole workout again, Do it through 2 or 3 times and you'll have a great full body, almost full hour workout, and then follow with a good cool down and stretches. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions and have a great time. Thank you so much. See you next time.